Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of chemistry. Children, we are discussing the chapter acid, bases and salts. Is it? And in previous class, I have explained you about some commonly used bases. Okay. So today I am going to discuss the next topic of the chapter, and the topic is preparation of salts. Alright children, so we have explained about acids and about bases, and now I'm going to start the salts. Preparation of salts. Children, as you already know that a salt is a compound that produced along with water in a neutralization reaction. Okay, in which type of reaction? In neutralization reaction. And this neutralization reaction occurs between an acid and a base. Okay, so the most common salt that known to us is sodium chloride or common salt that we used to eat. And the salt can be prepared by following reactions also. So there are certain reactions, and I'm going to discuss one by one, and because in these reactions the salts are produced. Okay children, so the first reaction is the reaction between an acid and a base. Okay children, so this is the first kind of reaction in which a salt formed. So as we already have seen that common salt whose formula is NaCl. Okay, common salt whose formula is NaCl, it can be prepared by the reaction of sodium hydroxide with hydrochloric acid. Okay, we have discussed about this kind of reaction previously in the chapter. Now, the second kind of reaction in which a salt form is the reaction between an acid and a metal. Reaction between an acid and a metal. Okay children, so we have already studied that a metal displaces hydrogen from an acid and form the salt. So when a metal reacts with acid, hydrogen get displaces, and as a result we obtain a salt. So this is also a kind of reaction which is used to prepare the salt. Okay, now the third kind of reaction by which salts are prepared is reaction between vegetable oils and caustic soda. So this is the third kind of chemical reaction by which salts prepared, and the soaps which we use for cleaning that you already know are actually the sodium salts of some acids, and the soap can be prepared by boiling vegetable oil, animal fat with caustic soda. And the formula of caustic soda children, yes, it is NaOH. Alright, so this caustic soda is a kind of base, and when this caustic soda boiled with vegetable oil and animal fat, so we obtain the sodium salts. Got it, children? So I hope that you understood how the salts are prepared and what are the different chemical reactions by which salts are produced. Okay. Now, children, notice that in all the reactions which I have explained, the salts is formed by replacing the hydrogen in an acid by a metal atom. Okay, and thus we can define a salt as a compound which are formed by replacing the hydrogen of an acid by a metal. Okay, so you can define the word salt as, yes, a salt is a compound which is formed by replacing the hydrogen of an acid by a metal. Okay, so that substance we obtain is a salt. Got it, children? Okay, so I hope that you understood about the salts. Now I'm going to explain you the next topic, and the next topic is pH scale. Children, the pH scale, it is a kind of scale that we generally use to measure, but it's not used to measure the length of a line. Okay, it is used to measure the strength of an acid or an alkali. Got it? So we can say that pH scale is used to measure the strength of an acid or an alkali, and this scale is known as pH scale. Get it? So this scale has a range, and the range that is from 1 to 14. Get it? And on this scale, the pure water is neutral with pH 7. So the scale is like this. This is the pH scale that starts from 1. Okay, children. So on this scale, 1 to 14 are marked, and in the middle, in the center, the 7. This is the range of, yes, water, neutral water. So you can say that the neutral water have the pH value 7. Get it? Because the pure water is neutral in nature. So on this scale, the 7 indicates that the neutral point. Okay, and before the 7, that is from 1 to 6, this is the range of acids, pH for acids, and from 8 to 14, this is the range of pH for bases. This is range of pH for bases. Okay, children, and this one This one is the range of pH for bases and acids. Get it? So this scale indicates that the substances are what in nature. Either they are acidic in nature or basic in nature. And what are their strength? If a acid belongs to 4, so we can say that the strength of this acid is somewhat less as compared to the acid which is present on 2. So as we are going to move from 6 to 1, the strength of the acids are going to increase. And as we are going to move from 8 to 14, here the strength of bases are going to increase. Got it, children? We can also say that as we are moving from 1 to 6, the strength of acids are going to reduce. It's going to decrease. Or when we are moving from 14 to 8, the strength of bases are going to decrease. And 7, it is the neutral point. So the pure water have the pH value 7 because its nature is neutral. It is neither acidic nor basic. Got it, children, about pH scale? So the pH scale is, yes, a scale which is used to measure the strength of an acid or an alkali or base. Okay, so such a scale is called pH scale. And the range of this scale is from 1 to 14. Get it? Okay, so I hope that you understood about this pH scale. Now, come to the next. The preparation of soap. How the soap are prepared. So, with the help of the given information, we will understood about the preparation of the soap. Okay, children? Preparation of soap. Children, we have to follow certain steps to prepare the soap. Okay, and the first step is we will take about 20 ml of castor oil in a beaker. Alright, and other oils like coconut oil we can also use. So either we can take the castor oil or coconut oil. Get it? Now, in the next step, we will prepare the sodium hydroxide solution by dissolving half a teaspoonful of caustic soda in about 20 ml of water. So in second step, we will prepare solution of sodium hydroxide. Got it? And how we'll prepare this solution of sodium hydroxide, children? By dissolving, yes, half a teaspoonful of caustic soda. The formula of caustic soda is, yes, it is NaOH. Okay, so by dissolving this half a teaspoonful of caustic soda in about 20 ml of water. Okay, so this solution we will use. Now in the third step, we will mix the oil and sodium hydroxide solution. Get it? In third step, we will mix oil and sodium hydroxide solution. Now after mixing them, in next step, we will heat this mixture of oil and sodium hydroxide solution and let it boil for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay? We'll heat it and boil the mixture for about 5 to 10 minutes. Alright children? And while heating, while boiling, we have to care that we will stir it continuously. Okay, so while stirring, we boil it. Got it? And the reaction that will occur at the time of boiling these substances as oil is going to mix with sodium hydroxide and after boiling them about 5 to 10 minutes, we will obtain soap and glycerine. Alright children, so these are the two products we will obtain. Our first product is the soap and the second product is glycerine. Okay, now in next step, separate this soap from the mixture and add a teaspoonful of salt to the beaker and stir. As here we have obtained this mixture of soap and glycerine after heating these two substances. Now we need to separate them. Okay, and for separating this soap from glycerine, what we will do? Yes, we will add a teaspoonful of salt. Alright children, and we will stir it, we'll mix it. And while stirring it properly, mixing it properly in the solution, we will leave this mixture for cooling for some time. Okay, and when the mixture get cooled, so we obtain the solid soap. Okay, and this solid soap present on the crust in the beaker and the glycerine will left behind it. Got it? So we can take out the soap from the beaker easily. Understood children? So I hope that you understood the process to prepare the soap. Okay, in the first step, we have taken about 20 ml of castor oil or coconut oil in a beaker. Then we will prepare a solution of sodium hydroxide. Okay, by dissolving caustic soda in water. After that, we will mix both of them, this oil and sodium hydroxide solution. And while mixing, we will heat and boil this mixture for about 5 to 10 minutes. And after boiling for 5 to 10 minutes, the chemical reaction will occur and soap and glycerine will form. Now it need to separate them, and for separating this soap from the glycerine or from this mixture, we will add a teaspoonful of salt in the mixture. Okay, and we'll stir it. We'll mix it continuously and then we'll leave our mixture for cooling. And when the mixture get cooled, so the soap will form as a solid on the top of the mixture. Okay, as a crust. And the glycerine will left, yes, on the bottom of the beaker. So we'll take it out easily. Get it children? So this one is about the preparation of soap. Okay. Now come to the next topic. And now I'm going to discuss the naming salts. Alright children, how the name of different salts are given. Naming salts. So children, as you know that an acid, it contributes the non-metallic part in a salt. Okay, the non-metallic part in the salt is, yes, contributes from acid. And when the salt is prepared, the neutralization reaction occurs, and between this neutralization reaction occurs between acid and a base. Get it? Which already we have discussed about the neutralization reaction that takes place between acids and bases, and the base contributes the metal. So the acid part contributes non-metal and the base contributes the metal. Children, there are some exceptions like ammonium salts. So such salts such as ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate, they are prepared by the action of ammonium hydroxide on acids. Okay, and here we have ammonium, which itself a non-metallic group instead of a metal. Okay, so please remember that almost all the salts prepared from acid and base, and acids are non-metallic part of the salts and bases contribute the metallic part. But exception is there like ammonium salts. Okay, so the exceptions are ammonium salts such as ammonium chloride. The formula of ammonium chloride, children? Yes, it is NH4Cl. Okay, so this ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate. Ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate. They are prepared by the action of ammonium hydroxide, and the formula of ammonium hydroxide is NH4OH. Okay children, and when this ammonium hydroxide reacts with an acid, then these salts are formed. So here we have ammonium, which itself is a non-metallic group instead of a metal. Get it? Now, the name of a salt is derived from the name of the metal and the non-metallic part. Got it children? As we are discussing mainly the naming salts, how we can name a salt. So mainly the name is given to the salt by using the metallic and non-metallic part of that salt. Get it? Now, the examples. The first example is sulfates. Alright children, so sulfates are obtained from sulfuric acid. And the formula of sulfuric acid, yes, that you know very well, H2SO4. So, sulfates, salts are obtained from sulfuric acid. Okay. Carbonates, they are obtained from, yes, carbonic acid. And the formula of carbonic acid is H2CO3. Got it, children? So the name of the salt is given carbonates as they are obtained from carbonic acid. The name of the salts given sulfates as they are obtained from sulfuric acid. Okay, just like that, the chlorides. So the chloride salts are obtained from hydrochloric acid. And the formula is HCl. Alright, children? So the chloride salts are obtained from hydrochloric acid. Nitrate salts are obtained from nitric acid. And the formula of nitric acid is HNO3. Alright? And just like that, acetates salts, they are obtained from acetic acid. Acetic acid, and the formula is CH3COOH. Alright, so here you are able to see that the name of different salts are given on the basis of the acids from which they obtain, like the sulfate salts are obtained from sulfuric acid. Carbonate salts are obtained from carbonic acid. Okay, chlorides salts are obtained from hydrochloric acid, and the nitrate salts obtained from nitric acid. Acetate salts obtained from acetic acid. Got it, children? So I hope that you understood that the naming salts, how the name of the salts are given. Get it? Now, after that, I'm going to give some more examples, okay, of the salts that commonly we use along with their metallic part and non-metallic part and their formula. Get it, children? So you have a table in your book, that is table 7.2, in which the name of some common salts are given along with their formula, metal part and non-metallic part. In table 7.2, there are some common salts. Alright, children? So the first one is, yes, the first one is sodium sulfate. Formula is Na2SO4. In this salt, the metallic part is sodium. The non-metallic part is sulfate. Alright, children, and the name is given to this salt is sodium sulfate. Alright, children, now the second one is copper sulfate. Formula is CuSO4. This salt have the metallic part copper and the non-metallic part sulfate. Okay, and the name of this salt is copper sulfate. Alright, children. Now the third example is calcium carbonate. Formula is CaCO3. So this salt have the metallic part calcium and the non-metallic part is carbonate. So the name is calcium carbonate. Got it, children? Now come to the fourth, and that salt is ammonium chloride. Okay, and the formula is NH4Cl, ammonium chloride, and the metallic group is ammonium group. And the non-metallic part is chloride. So we can name it as ammonium chloride. Alright, children? Now, one more example. That is potassium nitrate, and the formula is KNO3. The formula potassium nitrate salt is KNO3, and in this salt the metallic part is potassium. Alright, and the non-metallic part is, yes, it is nitrate. And we can name this salt as potassium nitrate. Get it, children? So these are some of the common salts and their formula, the metallic part, non-metallic part, and their names. Okay, so the name of these salts are given on the basis of their metallic and non-metallic part. Get it? So I hope that you understood how the names of different salts are given. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day, children.